talking about is so we can exchange phone numbers if there's evacuation, and also so that we can bring our community back together again. We're 100% in the burn zone, and I went around and passed out flyers, and we had a block party this last Saturday. It was very successful. Right now, the only way we kind of have information sharing is through one another and through flyers such as this. And I delivered these to every standing home in our zone, went up and down lots of driveways, and it was about 125 homes that are left in our zone. We ended up with over 80 people at our party.
Wow.
And here I have some pictures of the party. It shows how important community is and how much we desire to be with one another. And I'm so proud of everybody coming, not knowing what to expect, coming and meeting their neighbors who they never met before. New friendships were made that will, I hope, last a lifetime. We had such community support. California Hope was there and helped me set up tables and chairs. I rented the POA courtyard, and I gotta say, it's a beautiful grounds there, and it's untouched by the fire. It was really very nice to be surrounded by a good place to have a party. We had CAL FIRE did all of the barbecuing, and they were there the whole time with 2 engines and ready to help us with any questions that we might have about evacuations and our fire safety. And then I also want to thank my husband for doing all the grocery shopping for barbecue. So we also talked about having a Firewise committee set up so that we could talk about, while we're replanting our burned vegetation, we want to figure out how we can be a Firewise committee. And Kimberly is heading up our committee, and so if anyone's interested in the South Pine Zone and signing up for that, Kimberly's here tonight.
Where's Kimberly?
There, hi, Kimberly. So each zone is to have their own zone captain, and unfortunately, Magalia needs more zone captains. Yes! Yay! So we need a zone captain really badly in the North Pine Zone. If anyone is interested, please come and see me. The North Pine Zone is, part of it's in the Burn Scar. It's in the Creston, White Cliff area. So if anyone here is from that area and would like to volunteer, we need more volunteers. So these block parties are really important to bring us all together. And even people that are not in the burn zone, encourage everybody to have a party so that, because people are looking for a conduit to get to know each other. And so just putting something together so that the residents can come together is really beneficial, and it's one of the goals of the zone project.
Yes.
Thank you.
Patty's doing an amazing job. I think she's like going to win the prize as the best zone captain. What?
I did.
No, there wasn't. You moved it? Oh, okay. So normally that's a carry. Do you have a pin, or do you need? I have an adapter. Let's see if it's one of the new computers. It's one of the new computers. See if she has pins. So one of the things that we do here. I do not have pins. No. Do you have a pin on the side?
I do not.
Ha! We're ready. I have a feeling the new computers don't have the old-fashioned pins, right? We have to adapt to it. without.
Okay, sorry we don't have a way to display our PowerPoint, but that's okay. We'll just use words instead of pictures.
And by the way, this is Tara Sullivan.
Hates. I'm the director of Help Central Inc., which is a local nonprofit organization that provides the 211 information and referral service for Butte and Glenn counties. And this is Rita York, and she's one of our 211 call specialists. So she's on the front line every day, taking calls from people who are seeking information and resources about health and human services. So just from a show of hands, how many people have heard about 211? So most people, okay. There's information out there about us. Some of it's true, some of it's not. So 211 has existed in Butte County for about 15 years, actually, in terms of building a database of community resources. So what we've done is we've constructed this comprehensive database of health and human resources. And it's the free and the low-cost resources, everything from different types of healthcare to food pantries, in-home assistance, programs for children and families. And this database now has over 700 different entries for different kinds of programs and services. So pre-campfire, people would call 211 and reach a live information referral specialist and have questions about, how can I get some sort of food assistance, or how can I help my sister who has an addiction problem and needs treatment. And so we're fielding those calls all day long. After the campfire, 211s, and this is true for 211s across the nation, become activated to respond to disasters. And so that's what we have been doing pretty much 24/7 since November 8th. So there are 3 different ways that you can connect with 211, and one is just simply dialing that number, 211. What we've learned is sometimes in certain areas, the 3-digit dialing code has not been programmed. And so there is a toll-free number that you can call instead. And sorry, I can't show it, but if you wanted to write it down in case the 211 number is not live for you, you would dial 866-916-3566. And that will still connect you right into the 211 center that's in Chico. The other way you can reach us is by texting. And so to text in live, and again, that comes right to the call specialist still as an incoming communication, you would text your zip code to 898-211. So in the send is 898-211, that's where you're sending it to, and in the texting field is where you put your zip code. And then that will reach Rena or one of her counterparts. And then the other way to reach us is, or to find out about resource information, is through our online website. And that has that database that I was talking about earlier. It's live, it's accessible to the public, and you can search that. And that's at butte211.org. So as I mentioned, since November 8th, 211 has answered over 18,000 calls and texts from campfire survivors who are requesting resource information and assistance. So part of what we did in changing our operations was to create a whole sort of strike team of people who are tracking all of those emerging resources. So we've been tracking it live this whole time. We have made over 21,000 referrals to various response and recovery services. We are tracking and updating information daily. We're informing callers of new programs, closing programs, and emerging programs. We have served as a point of entry for all types of recovery programs and complex intake systems. And I'm going to let Rena tell you a little bit about what happens on the 211 call.
Hello. So what happens when you dial 211 is you're connected with myself or another call specialist, and we'll typically ask you where you're currently located, so that we could provide information about resources that are close to you. And so we like to connect individuals with upcoming event information as well. We connect individuals with disaster case management services by adding them to community queues. We also connect with programs dedicated to mental health and wellness, so that could be like California Hope. And we also are able to offer trip planning assistance for the VLA bus and things like that. And so typically what happens is we just have a pleasant, friendly conversation about what your needs may be, so that I can better determine what resources I can provide information to.
That's good. Any questions so far? Any questions for Rena on taking calls? So we do have some cards that we can pass out that have our website information on it. There is a second website that we created that is campfire specific resources. And that is again being updated consistently. So as soon as we know about a resource, it's going up on that website, as well as the call specialists knowing about it. There are some special, I guess, activities or programs that we're doing in conjunction with the long-term recovery group and other organizations. 211 functions as the intake for referral to disaster case management, also as intake for other financial assistance programs. And so you can contact us for that process to be able to access that information. I think I'm just going to jump ahead to asking you for some input regarding communications. We've been listening and hearing people discussing the various needs for different types of communications in different circumstances, and wanted to find out how we can assist with that. So, do you want to talk a little bit about our text line? Tell them about our text line?
So, you can text us, and essentially what we would do is we're able to have a live conversation by text. So you can text us with requests for information. If we can have a conversation about some of the needs you may have.
And then tell them about the campfire text line.
Oh, okay. So we have an outgoing text messaging platform for Campfire, where we provide information about Campfire specific resources, maybe upcoming deadlines, emerging resources, and that sort of thing. And so you can opt into that by texting it's one word, all caps, Campfire to 898-211. And then
Slower, say it again.
sorry.
It's on the bottom part.
Yeah, I believe it is on the card, but it's all caps, one word, Campfire. So you would send that word to 898-211. And so that's not a live response. Essentially, you would be signing up to receive information. And then if you have any questions, you could then text your county zip code, and you can have a live conversation where I'm sitting at my computer responding to you.
Yeah, that's good. So the Campfire text line has 9,600 people signed up for it, and many people signed up during the evacuation. And so since then, we've been consistently pushing out different kinds of messages on that text line. So when there were debris slides threatening, we would send out that official information on that line. When there was an application deadline closing for Red Cross, we would send that out. When Section 8 housing list was opening up, we would send that out. So what I wanted to get some feedback from you tonight is if we were to create a dedicated text line for Magalia, we would love to work in partnership with the other folks who are looking at ways to enhance communication. So this organization could feed information to us that we could then push out by text. And, you know, we could work closely with, was it Tammy, who's doing the newsletter? Patty?
No, Tammy.
Tammy.
Where'd Tammy go?
She's
Oh, she went out.
moving.
That was
So,
Tammy.
if she has content that is, you know, time specific or is notification type, information, she could feed that to us and we can push it out. So we have the ability to create like these siloed, text campaigns. And as long as we have people to work with on this end, as far as that information being vetted and how it's going to be, you know, sort of transcribed, we can be the mechanism, basically, to push that out. So is that something that would be a good tool to add to the toolbox, or what are people's thoughts on that?
What do folks think about having a Magalia-specific information texting, that basically?
Would you sign up for it?
Yeah. How many people would sign up for that text? Yeah. All right, thank you. We'll bring it home.
Yeah,
We'll put you on the committee.
We'd love to, yeah.
And so, Tammy, what you missed is there, tell her.
So we were talking about the fact that we could create a Magalia-specific text line where we can push out messaging. So if you have particular content from the newsletter that, you know, needed to go out in that method, we could receive that from you and then just push that out.
Sounds great.
Once you had signed in, yeah.
Cool.
So I also want to mention that when you do call 211, it is 24 hours. The after-hours agents are not actually in Chico, so just a heads up on that. If you can call during the daytime, you will reach the local people who have a little bit more awareness of the local situation and context and communities. So our local staff is there Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 6, and then Saturday from 9 to 4. But you still will reach a live person who has access to the database information if you call in those after hours between those times. So any other questions?
Do you have a local office?
It is in Chico.
What's the address?
It's not a public address.
Oh, it isn't?
Yeah, it's all a telephone-based information and referral. So we don't actually have people coming visiting us. I think I mentioned earlier that we have an intake for disaster case management. So if people are trying to still connect with a disaster case manager, contacting 211 and having that assessment done for case management is the first step. And then also, if people are trying to access emergency financial assistance funds, there's one through Butte Strong, which is the North Valley Community Foundation Fund. And there's one that's coming up from Red Cross that is specifically for vulnerable populations. Again, contacting 211 is the first step for that. And there's an assessment that gets done, and then you get you connected out to those programs. Anything else?
No, it's great.
Okay.
Thank you
very
so
much.
much. Thank you. All right, let's hear from Janice, Hannah, and Jim Roberts with Del Oro Water Company, and you guys be nice.
What kind of setup is that?
We've had numerous conversations. Okay, that's why you said what they did. Numerous questions about water quality. So, okay.
I'm Janice Hanna, I'm Director of Corporate Accounting for Del Oro Water. I've been with Del Oro Water for over 22 years. And this is Jim Roberts. You probably know him very well because he's been in the field and you've seen him here in Magalia. And I know he's worked for us for over 30 years or so. Yeah. We're here to answer your questions. It says here we're doing a presentation. I really didn't do a presentation because I thought it would be better to answer your questions. Basically, besides the daily operations, we're conducting lab testing for vacant lots as requested, which also follows through for those homeowners to go to the county. We work with the county on permitting. They contact us to be sure that the benzene test has been completed, it is non-detect, and then they go ahead and issue their building permit. So you really do need to contact us when you start that process so that we can start the testing and go through. It's a 2-week process after we test to get the results. The State Water Board has also ordered a sampling guidance for phase 2, which is also started. We have 17 of those completed in our Paradise Pines district. I believe you've done Linesville and Magalia also. Yeah. Wednesday, okay. These are random. We have to randomly pick homes that are standing in these districts. And so if you are contacted, we'll explain the process. We take the lab test, water test from your kitchen sink. And we, if we contact you, we'd really appreciate your help on this. This is a free testing to you. The state is paying for it. And the last thing I'll bring up, because I'm sure it probably may come up, is in June, we started billing our customers statewide for the revenue surcharge of $10.54. So that is all of our customers from down in Porterville up to Ferndale. This is going to be tracked in a balancing account for 1 year while we work on reviewing our water rates statewide. I had people say to me, why aren't you suing PG&E? Why are you, you're doing the surcharge for us? We needed to have revenue coming in right now. So what will happen through litigation with PG&E, whatever monies we get will go directly back to the customer. It's not going to go to our profit. It's going to go to the customer. So if it takes 1 year, if it takes 10 years, eventually whatever money we get in litigation or in lost income, which we have not received anything from our insurance company yet, will be also tracked in this balancing account. So at this point, I'm just going to open it up for questioning. Would you direct, please? Go ahead. Jim knows all about the quality and all the issues, so I'm going to let him talk.
On the surcharge, our bill is, for actual water, it says water, is $12.
Mm-hmm.
The bill itself is for $47.
Mm-hmm.
So that, are you telling me that eventually I'm gonna get some of that back?
You'll get back the the surcharge portion of it, which is the $10.54
And
a
then what's
month.
the rest of that?
The rest is your water rates. The water quantity, the readiness to serve is a water rate. That is how water rates are developed statewide, okay?
But it says $12. And then it's,
Well, they've read your meter and that's the amount of water you used. Then there's a flat fee of readiness to serve each month based on your meter size.
that's good to know.
And then there's an SRF surcharge for the regional project that was done in 2010. And then finally, we have to pay the California Public Utilities Commission a fee, which is 1.23% of your bill, and we send that to them quarterly.
So I limit my outrage to the $10.
Pardon me? Yes, your outrage is to the $10.54.
All right, number
Okay.
2, who was the second one? Who's number 2? Somebody down here?
You guys didn't have insurance to cover the surge, the lost revenue?
We do.
So-
We had insurance, we haven't received, we may have the maximum of $250,000. The issue is, we had water back into our system within 12 hours after the fire, probably,
So the generators
as the
went
fire was
down?
going on. So it's not like a retail loss of income, where a store shuts down, you don't have rent coming in, you don't have the groceries to sell, you need time to rebuild. Del Oro Water wasn't in that position, and your insurance will not cover loss of customers. So we lost 2,200 customers through Lime Saddle, Magalia, Old Magalia, and this area up here, totally. Right now, I think we've gotten approximately 100 back, and that is vacant lots. The people are starting their building process. We've done the testing for over 200 lots and occupied homes. And so we are seeing the movement of people moving back in once you get your lots cleaned up.
That's good. Tammy?
2 questions. You mentioned that you were testing standing homes. Can you confirm that that was within the burn scar area of your system?
Yes, it has to be.
And the second portion of that, can you confirm that there is no separation in your water system, shut-off valve, so to speak, from the burn scarred area to, say, the Coulter Carnegie neighborhood above that?
That's a totally different zone. So they are separated physically, not by valves, but by the pipelines themselves. They are not connected.
At all?
Right. There is a valve between each zone so that we could actually wheel water from our upper zone and gravity feed it down to the lower zones, but there's no way for that water to get back.
Okay.
I think mine is,
Got both of you now.
yeah, I think mine's kind of a similar thing. Where is your water source? I know Paradise Lake is PID, but where is your source?
Oh, okay, so our systems consist of several different sources. We have groundwater sources as a primary, and then we also have an intertie with Paradise Irrigation District.
Okay.
That's something that is used typically seasonally from July to October. We have not used that since the fire. It's been off, it's been out of commission. We're actually looking to put that back online within the next few weeks. But we have not used it since the
Okay,
fire.
so all of the water that is coming, assuming the water source is above everybody and it's coming downhill, everything's underground, so it didn't get
Yeah, so
affected by the fire.
the well water, we have a well off of Rosewood, we have one off of Compton, South Pines area, West Park, one next to our office on Lake Ridge Court. And those are pumped into pipelines, but they're all protected sources.
They're all
They are
protected.
not,
So
they're not exposed to.
we don't have to worry about
No, if
anything
we're
up
not
in this
contamination
line.
from.
Okay. Perfect.
All right, so we've got in a minute. Marcella, and then, is that you, Patty?
Yes.
And then Rick.
No,
Okay.
it doesn't.
Just very quickly going back to the $10.34, and thank you for addressing that. I know it was on a lot of people's minds. And that at some point we will be reimbursed for that, but it may take anywhere
Yes.
from a year
Yeah.
to 10 years or however. We know it will take a long time. I think it would make us confident if on a regular basis, through our bills, you let us know it's this far. The lawsuits are this far. We haven't forgotten. We know that, you know,
Well,
somebody is
we're
coming back to us.
where everyone else is personally as far as litigation. We have an attorney, he's filed our claim, I believe we have till October 21st, is it? 21st, to get all your claim information in. We have done that, so we're doing everything we are supposed to do as far as that litigation. There's really no news, other than I filled out tons of forms and a lot of information, you
But
know.
as it progresses, that's
That's
what
the
I'm saying.
progress.
Just to keep us apprised, as it progresses, that, you know, you're on top of it, we haven't forgot about you, you're not gonna be paying $10.34 in.
Yeah. And that's for 10 years. And the litigation, as you all know, you don't know when we're gonna get any money. You know, I don't know if Butte County's gotten their money yet that they were promised, you know. we're
All we're
waiting for
asking
it.
is to just to be apprised of.
Okay.
That's all, through our bills.
Okay, Patty.
Something easy.
Okay, first of all, thank you for coming and testing at my house upon request. You came out at like 5:30 in the morning to help me. Appreciate it so much. They came back non-detectable, yes?
Yay.
So I want to know, how often should I have my water tested, or is that a done deal with it?
It's not like a bacteriological contamination where it's
Okay.
gonna migrate through the system.
Uh-huh.
What we're finding is any area of any contamination has been localized to that particular service. And upon physically inspecting the material that we've removed, you can see where the melted plastic had fused to the metallic fittings, and that's where the source of contamination is. We did some early assessment testing shortly after the fire to determine the extent of the contamination. Did it get into the water mains, or was it just localized to the services? And all we found was that if we did a first draw sample off the service, it might have tested, a lot of them tested non-detected, but if we had one that tested positive for anything, as soon as we let the water run for a couple of minutes, representing what was coming from the main, it went to non-detect. And that was for the full VOC panel. So that's the full scale of all the contaminants that we're looking for. So we don't see that this is going to be something that is going to, where it's at is where it's at. It's not going to continue to, it's not going to spread and go from one place to another from where it's at.
Okay, good to know. I heard that it might be good to flush the water by them doing more watering for landscaping to help neighbors in the burn zone. Is that true, or?
No, we've been doing routine flushing of the service lines that go to burnt structures, just so that, and the idea is that we ratchet down the contamination. So if the contamination's here, and we flush it, we bring it down a little bit more. Let it sit for another month, come back again, flush it, bring it down a little bit more. So if there's nothing detected in your system, flushing's not going to do anything other than just give us more revenue.
One thing I wanted to say real quickly is Del Oro was different than what happened in the city of Paradise in PID. These guys were back up here when you were still burning up here. They had water back in the system. They were running water through your mains. That's why you don't have benzene in your mains, because we kept water going. PID did not put water back into their system for at least 2 weeks. Their employees did not come back. And of course, none of us knew that what we did was right. You know, really and truly, we were all, as you all were too. So there's no one to blame. It's just that I wanted you all to realize there is a difference between the PID issues that you're reading about in the paper and your water districts up here.
Thank you for that. That's hugely important. Rick?
Throughout the burn area in Regalia, are you operational? Are all the mains and all the other lines full of water? It's just that where it comes up to the service line at the meter, we shut off there?
Within 2 weeks of the fire, we had 100% of all of our systems up and pressurized all the way to the meter stop, which is at the termination of the service.
There's several people that are rebuilding, or they're lucky enough that all the greenery didn't burn down. And they were actually going out there with buckets of water to try to keep their stuff alive. And they said, how could I get just a simple faucet or something I could?
We do not allow any connection unless that service line is tested. And then once it's tested, then we'll put a meter in.
And so to start that process would be to come over and see you.
We'll just call the call center and we will start the process of lab testing. And that, what Jim said, is really important. We are not turning on any services to the vacant lots, the burnt area, vacant lots, until they've been tested and come back non-detect or under the level that is okay by the state, the NCL, yeah.
Yeah, and that's because we have to assume that even though people might have the best intentions and say, this is just to keep my trees alive. In fact, my house is one of those that, you know, we'd love to put our water back on so that we could just keep our trees alive that are on the property. But we have to assume that, you know, anybody can come along and turn that hose bib on and consume it. So we want to make sure that they're all.
And one more thing, I want to say thank you for stopping the guys who was splurting on the water.
Which one was that?
We've had a couple of them lately.
It's been a lot.
I think the weather change caused the pipes to
Yes, sir.
split.
Do you have any maps of where fire hydrants are?
We have maps, and in fact, we supply those to CAL FIRE at the local Station 33.
Is there a way I can get one?
I'm sure we could get one to you.
I have my cards here. I'm gonna grab it and call me. It's my direct line. You don't go through the call center. And I will get, any information to you that you need to get, okay?
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Joseph?
You had mentioned collaboration with PID and something that was seasonal.
There's a physical pumping station that interties with Paris Irrigation.
And it's gonna be back online in the next couple of weeks, but that doesn't have any of the contamination problems that PID is.
PID, no, because PID's water is not contaminated at the source. It's not contaminated at the treatment plant, it's not contaminated.
The reservoirs or nothing are not contaminated.
They're facing a whole different animal, but where we would be pulling water off, if we were to use this, would be just below the treatment plant itself. An area that was not, yes, there was fire there, but there was nothing that burned, melted, and was introduced into the system.
You're saying from the lake and the reservoir,
Yes,
and those are potable now.
yes,
They're safe.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and surface water is surface water. It's always got contaminants in it. We pull water out of our line tile system out of Lake Oroville. And, people have a hard time wrapping their head around drinking water that they swim in and all that. But it is surface water that's treated, and that's what the treatment process does, is removes the contaminants that are in the water. So that's what Paradise treatment plant would be doing for that water that we use.
Thank you. Patty?
When people want to reconnect their water to come back and to rebuild, how much lead time should they give themselves when they contact you and get the results?
I would say at least 3 weeks, because typically what happens is that we're trying to stay on some sort of schedule because of the lab we're working with. So we go out there typically we want to have everything flushed by Tuesday, and then it has to sit for mandatory 48 hours before we collect sample on Thursday. So, and then we're into a week and a half to 2 weeks for the turnaround time for the lab results.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I live on the top of the hill where the Depot restaurant used to be, so that whole hill,
Mhm.
I'm the only resident there, and the water is Loomis well
Yes.
water. Was that tested when you turned it back on for me to live up on the hill?
Okay, Loomis well and the Indian wells in the Omagay system have not been used since the fire.
Oh, so my,
So
okay.
your water, all of Omagay's water is coming from our Paradise Pines district. So
So
it's,
they didn't have to test it when they turned mine back on? Even though I'm the only.
no, but we tested, everything, every dwelling, every RV anything that's connected to our system has been tested.
Okay,
So your property there, just adjacent to the well,
Yes.
and Loomis there,
uh,
yes, we tested, I tested at a hose bib next to your driveway. This is a hose bib.
how is Loomis well doing? Is it clear, nice?
The water will be fine, we'll flush it before we use it, but it's a protected source, so it's not subject to any contamination from fire.
Right, no, it's wonderful water.
Yeah, we just, some of our other sources we have not used because with the population, dwindling down to what it is, we felt the best thing, instead of running water, to become stagnant at times, we're trying to bring it to more like one single source, bringing fresh water into those areas.
Cool.
As much as we
Thank
can.
you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I was just, when they talked about the lead time, and he said, he's answered and said 3 weeks. It actually only took about 2.5 for mine, so they're not doing anything like PID and everybody's complaining about. They say it's gonna be months, and they said, when I called, they said 3 weeks, and it was 2.5 weeks, and it was back on.
That's great. Good job. Any more questions?
No, but there is a source of free PID water on Skyway. If anybody does want any, one of the burned out structures next door to the antique mall. I called because I was walking it in discussion, but it's one of those ones that they can't really get to right now. So, there's a basement.
Okay, John?
I want to ask what Delaware is doing about getting water back to customers on the lower end of the Meissen.
Okay, so we're working with a company called Rainford.
Say, John,
Yes.
slow down and say that again so people can hear it.
You want me to shout it out?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, so the Meissen Canal, which is PG&E owned, the head dam off Clinic Road is where that starts, and it goes all the way down to the Lime Saddle Power Plant, which is where the Lime Saddle campground is. And then from there, it goes into some other flumes that carry it all the way out to Coal Canyon Road. That was all destroyed in the fire, so that PG&E has no way of getting water from the west branch of the Feather River where it originates all the way up to Coal Canyon Road. So we've contracted out a company to at least research it and see what needs to be put in place to get water all the way down. So we're looking at floating a couple of pumps on a barge down there in the marina. So it could be problematic in a couple of areas. One is power is going to require some power generation there, and the noise could be a problem with the campground being so close and all the houseboats. So we're looking at a couple of things. We're trying to get some answers from PG&E if they can put a power drop in there to power up the pump station, but they're hard to get a hold of to get an answer. It's wait on the phone, press 1, wait 5 hours.
Oh, so you have to do that too?
Yes,
Wow.
you do.
Yeah,
And Bob
they don't give us a
has,
red phone to go straight to the sea level.
Bob Farcino has been attending all of those meetings and been participating with the different people, supervisors, everyone that's involved with this. It's an ongoing thing. I know he's been to several meetings. So again, everything takes time, and people up there really don't have time. It's more than just water. It's water for their animals. It's the ecosystem around that with seeping water into the grass and trees and everything else. There's a lot going on with that whole issue. So we're there to help if we can, and so that's what we're doing.
Well, I want to thank Janice and Jim for being here.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Yeah, you were. We were nice. But Cal Fire, welcome, and you said your last name is?
It's a tough one. Good evening, I'm Kevin Pekin-Keller. I'm the administrative fire captain for the Beach Fire Center, in which we employ CCC Corps members as our firefighters and our buses and our Type 1 crews. Just a little update and kind of information. Someone talked about the seating. I believe that's the Chico crews. We don't do seating. We're more into the hazard fuel reduction projects in the POA, Greenbelt, Forcestown Ridge, and some other projects. We were after the fire. Well, quick update: we started with 2 crews in 2016 when we reopened the camp. Quickly grew to 3 crews, and all 3 of our crews responded to the campfire that day. This March we opened up a 4th crew. So we have 4 crews in camp, 2 crews on duty every day, and we backfill when we leave with other crews from throughout the state. For extreme weather conditions like this recent lightning storm, we did bring in, I can't say we, but the state moved extra crews into the camp. So for the lightning, we actually had 6 crews in camp responding to fires, and thankfully they were very minimal. This year, luckily, our fire hours have reduced by about 1,500 hours, which is a very nice relief after the last few years. We were able to, after the fire, assist through mutual aid with OES, assist in removing hazard trees at Pine Ridge School. So they were able to open on January 7th. And become the first school, I believe, on the ridge to reopen. And we also assisted Butte County Public Works and the roads in removing hazard trees and brush on Coodalink Road from Skyway to Huck Coodalink, and then Huck Coodalink from Coodalink to Skyway. And we also will be working with them on some other projects also. That's all I've got. Any questions?
John?
Is there any talk about reopening the reforestation nursery?
No. The only reforestation nursery we have is out of Davis. Yeah.
Certainly we have an increased need for that around here.
Yeah, and that, our nursery is now our cruise staging area, so it's a campground for cruise now.
Did someone ask about the siren at the CCC camp? Is there a siren?
We do have a siren, but it's to notify our crews of the dispatch.
So if we hear it though, no.
If you hear it, you'll see a couple of crew buses driving down Sniper Road.
That's right.
Whichever way. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I got a question, regarding, Jordan Hill Road, the Whiskey Flats Bridge. I know that's a BLM bridge that the fire trucks can't fit across. Has there been any discussion about, putting another bridge in there?
That goes way above my pay grade, but I do know that there has been talks. I don't know where they're at or if they're continuing or anything.
Any more questions? Thank you so much for the update. There she is. I'm sorry. Thank you all. This is a long meeting. We had a ton of presentations. My mind is just my head. It's like exploding with information. Chell.
Good evening, everyone. I'm relatively a newcomer to the Upper Ridge. I've only been here 20 years. I'm representing Magalia Community Church and the Resource and Recovery Center on campus. We're currently serving 300 to 800 survivors per day. Big day in January was 100 people. 6 months later, on July 2nd, we had 1,000 people in one day. And they can only come once a week. We are vetting all the people that come in there. They're all screened. They have to have photo ID, and they can only come in just once a week. Just had our state inspection today and passed with flying colors. I'm very proud of that. Yes. And we just received word today that North Valley Community Fund Strong has approved our grant as of this morning. And that's going to help keep our doors open for quite a bit longer. But we still have needs. And our greatest needs, of course, are volunteers. Biggest thing to heal my heart was to come up and start volunteering at the center after Christmas. And I recommend everybody to come up and help with that. We also need real food, canned foods. The most expensive thing to ship from the food banks because it weighs more. We need staples, and we have people that are buying food so they can afford the gas to drive down to Chico and Oroville for their job interviews or caseworker interviews or doctor or dentist appointments. That's their only flexible budget item. We need baby wipes. People living in cars and tents again. We haven't seen that since January, February. We have an increased number of people that are living in cars and tents because their FEMA motel vouchers are no longer available. And they have no place to go. So baby wipes are very important. We haven't had requests for tents and sleeping bags since March. And then all of a sudden we got them again. Whatever you can help with, whether it's your time or your resources, we greatly appreciate everything. Of course, you're always welcome to come to church on Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock and just listen to the bells or your call to service. Anybody have any questions regarding the center? Yes?
In regards to tents and things like that, when you're looking for the donations, do they have to be new?
No.
Can we donate
You can,
3, 4 old tents or whatever?
as long as it's something that's gonna fall down on something. Yeah, we always say gently used. Yeah, the thing is, if you don't want it yourself, and you would throw it away, please don't give it to us.
No, so, yeah, quality use stuff is okay.
Yes, absolutely. Anyone else? Yes? Down on the end?
What are the hours right
The
now?
hours are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 11 to 3. And that also includes the hours for the shower trailers and the laundry facilities up there.
Say that again.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 11 to 3. Of course, we can't make that to volunteer. We have people on campus Mondays and Fridays, restocking, hanging clothes, doing all those kind of fun things.
So to bring donations, would it be on those days?
Yes, please. Monica, you had a question also?
Yes, Shel, I was wondering about the pets. I know that some of your residents up there have pets and if they need anything and how that's going.
We got a donation of canned foods, dog and cat food, some canned food. It's dwindling down to almost nothing. So I've tried to contact the Humane Society. They will not come and deliver up here. They will not let us take things out of their pantry to bring up here either.
So you could use some donations.
I could use some donations of that also.
Okay. Who else had their hand up?
Yeah, yes, sir?
I was just wondering with the new funding that you've got, how long do you guys project you'll be able to keep this up? Because
6
that's
months.
pretty extensive
6 months.
operation.
6 months.
How long will the traders and the residents be there?
That's going to depend on a lot of things. We're trying to work with Cal Hope and several caseworkers in the area. They know this is a temporary thing, and we are trying to also get behavioral health to come in and teach next classes to get people sustainable income and housing on their own. So I don't project that the camping will be there another 6 months. Yes, we're pushing through to get them to better places. Yes, ma'am.
So 2 questions.
Mhm.
Where is this located?
It is at 13700 Old Skyway in Old Magalia.
Okay.
So let me get it true.
So that's up across from the Gailey Pet Hospital?
Yes.
Catty corner, yeah.
Okay, now I know where you are. Okay, so you actually have a real address.
Yes.
Do you have people there longer than that? So if, for instance, I go on Amazon and put your address in and deliver cat food?
Yes, we have deliveries. Actually, we have a Amazon wish list. If you go on our Facebook page, Magalia Community Church-MCC, and you go through our posts, there is an Amazon, I see the kitty.
Yeah. I have a reason for this, you know, I want to make sure cats are taken.
Yes, uh-huh.
So,
Yeah, so we do have a, we do have an Amazon wish list. We do get deliveries there from Amazon quite frequently.
Thank you. Who else? Shel, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, yes, I can't forget about that. Yes, we've now members of the Paradise Ridge Chamber of Commerce, and we're going to be having a ribbon cutting ceremony on the front steps of the historic chapel at 4:30. And then we're going to have a reception for everyone over at the firehouse afterwards.
What day?
That is Saturday, September 14th, isn't it?
Yes.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. One more thing and then it's time to go home. We have there are applications for the $5,000 grants or funds from PG&E back there. Tell them all
So
about it.
I've got a flyer. If you have basic unmet needs that have not been compensated in, I believe, a variety of ways, I've got a flyer here for you. Please come and take them. I've got a bunch here. This is the Wildfire Assistance Program. It's the $100 million that PG&E has earmarked for survivors of the 2017 and 2018 wildfires. please come and get a flyer for you or anyone you know that would benefit from this.
So it's up to $5,000, right?
I'm not sure. Let's find out.
All right, so go check it out.
I just want to let people know something about that grant. The PG&E website is having a lot of issues.
Wait, hold tight.
2 secs here. The PG&E is having a lot of issues.
It's having a lot of issues. So sometimes it'll crash while it's processing private information. So sometimes people's information has not been as secure on that site as you would want it to be. So just proceed with caution when you're applying for PG&E's grant.
Terrific.
Thank you all. We'll see you next month.